Welcome to Secure the Soft Life, where we trade hustle for harmony. We choose peace on purpose. I'm your host, Dr. Raykel Tolson, author, financial educator, and your soft life strategist. This space is where faith, finances, and freedom come together to help you live with more ease and intention. Today, I want to talk about something most of us don't talk about out loud anyway, right? What what happens when rest feels risky? Now, all of you already know that I have quit my full-time job, and I did it so I could have more time for me, more peace, to be intentional. But I really did include the rest, even though that's what I wanted, but I did not say it out loud. And for most women, especially, we have to be strong. We have to take care of everything. If we stop, it's like everything stops, right? The world stops when we stop. But that's not true. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Resting. And it should not feel risky. One thing, I've only been out of the full-time gig thing since the 19th of June, right? So it hasn't even been a month yet. And in that time, I did have a lot of stuff that I needed to do because I moved from Orlando to Norfolk. So I had to do the move, pack, unpack, get everything up. I still have some pictures that need to be up, boxes that need to be broken down and taken to the trash, all that stuff. I did get help. My son and his wife came to help with a lot of the heavy lifting. But, it's been constant, like go, 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 do. Even though I'm not clocking in, I'm still going, doing. And even like in my business, it's like, oh, can't rest. Gotta meet new people. Gotta do this, gotta do this, gotta do that. Whew. I'm tired, right? And I need to rest. I need to rest. But I feel guilty if I'm just sitting down on my balcony looking at the boats at the marina and I'm not doing something. I'm not like doing a TikTok video or something. It's like, well, I need to be working, right? Whew. I'm going to just take another deep breath because we need to slow down. I need to slow down. I need to rest. And I need to make sure that rest doesn't feel risky. Like if I rest, I'm not going to make money. I'm not going to have money to pay my bills. I'm not going to, just things are not going to happen, right? Grinding, it's like kind of embedded in us. When I wake up in the morning, I say, thank you, God, for waking me up. But then it's like, okay, what emails did I miss? What came in while I was resting at night? I have to be who I am without the hustle. I have to figure that out for myself. And maybe I'm not the only one out there like that, especially if you are a business owner and you did quit your 9 to 5. And it's like, well, I can't fail, so I got to work hard. But that's not the soft life that I envision. My soft life really includes rest. Even though SOFT, secure our future, own our time, flow on our purpose, and trust God's timing. But nowhere in there did I actually include rest. And I am going to definitely include that rest is impossible. I mean, see, I said rest is impossible. Rest is possible even in your soft life. So I can still be productive and have rest. Because I pray for freedom. And in that freedom, it has to include rest. And not just the 8 hours at bedtime. No, we definitely need the 8 hours of sleep. But I mean just the rest to be able to relax and calm your nervous system and know that God got you. I can take this time to rest. Even a vacation, going on a vacation, and know that, you know what? if I take off a week, my business is not going to suffer. That is who I want to be. I don't want to have that hustle grind mentality. I don't want to panic, because I pray for peace. And that is what I want. That is part of this soft life. So I have to rest in that. In our culture, especially for Black women, it's like we have to be strong. And that's why so many of us are exhausted, because I think something said no rest for the weary, right? We have to decide that we are going to rest. We have to make rest a priority. When you put your kids for a nap, that should be a good time for you to kind of wind down also, for the stay-at-home moms, because, you don't go to a job, but you work hard. You work hard. Make sure you take time to rest. Now, I know it's hard to sit down when you the dishes got to be done. The dinner has to be cooked. This has to get done. It will still get done, but you take your rest and then you have more energy to do it more efficiently. That's what I've learned. When I'm tired, it seems like it takes me longer to do something that typically would have taken me 15 minutes, but it's stretched out to 30 minutes because I'm tired. So we need to sit down and rest. Resting and working and feel like you're in this whole trap that you have to keep moving. There's a quote in the Bible that says faith without works is dead, which is true. I wholeheartedly believe that. But I think what happens is we get that whole works thing and we change it really to overwork, right? Faith requires you not to overwork. You do the regular work, and into your faith, that faith adds the extra stank on it, because we allow God, we work so God can provide the stank on it, and then it multiplies and it manifests into what we want. But what we think we have to do, we feel like we have to do more work, so we have to do the work, and then we try to do God's work. So we overwork ourselves because we're trying to get that manifestation. We're trying to put the stank on it ourselves. And me personally, I believe that God puts the stank on it. God provides He manifests. He provides we water, we plant the seeds, we water, and then God provides the harvest. Yeah. But we sometimes think that we do everything. So we are working and we're working and we're working. And here's the thing, we get in this trap because when I work a lot, when I do a lot of stuff, when I'm overly productive, right, I do get to see some seeds of manifestation. I do see some money coming in, right? And so then we get caught up and it's if working overtime. You work overtime, you do get some extra money, right? Except for the company I used to work for. I'm not gonna say no names, but I used to work for a company. They didn't give you time and a half. They gave you an extra $10 if I worked overtime. I was like, an extra $10? Anyhow. But yeah, so we do see some extra finances and extra, but we're tired. Oh my gosh, working a 12-hour day to get $40 extra, right? Because I will get the 4 hours that I work, so that plus that extra $40. And it was just but I was so tired. But then when you start calculating the money, it's but yeah, I can see that it's worth it. But is it though? It's not really worth it. It's not really worth it. I think it's time for us to really believe that God has got our back. That overworking is just going to lead to burnout. And and what we do, we think that that's obedience. Oh, I'm just being obedient, or I'm just loving my family. And we think that burnout is okay, but it's not. Okay? It's not. We have to unlearn our survival mode, Because I know we were working all those hours, we were doing everything because we were trying to survive, right? And some of us would be like, I'm trying to thrive, so I got to do all this. Mm-mm. I don't think that that's how it works. So I think we should reframe rest as trust. Hear me out. Hear me out. Rest is not being lazy. Rest is not quitting. Rest is trusting God. We're trusting God's timing. So when you rest, you're going to say, I trust that God is still moving even when I'm not. God is still moving even when I'm not. That's good, right? I trust that provision doesn't have to come through pressure. The pressure of the deadlines, the pressure of meeting this person, the pressure of getting it done. Provision doesn't have to come through that pressure. I trust that my value doesn't decrease when I unplug. Because corporate America will have you believe that you go on a 2-week vacation and come back, that there's somebody else ready to take your place. Not so. Not so. Even like in the church, you have some ministers who rarely take a vacation. Like, you can take a vacation, preacher. Let somebody else preach. They're not going to take the church over. We have to get into that. Rest is not going to just wreak havoc. In Psalms 23, the Bible teaches us that He makes me to lie down in green pastures. Did you hear that? He makes me to lie down in green pastures. So it's like God will make you rest. So let's not make Him make us rest. Let's just say, God, I trust that I need rest. And that I trust that you got me while I'm resting. Because He doesn't want us to burn out. He doesn't. That's not how He created our bodies, to constantly be in motion and working. That's not how we were created. So, what if rest isn't a pause in your purpose, but what if it's a part of your path? Rest isn't a pause in your purpose. It's a part of your path. We have to rest, okay? And, you might need help resting because not all of us know how to rest. If I asked you, if you put rest, a 5-minute rest in your daily schedule, what would you do? Or a 20-minute, 30-minute rest, what would you do? Most of us would think, I would just sit and watch TV, or I would sit and, be on social media. I'm going to say that might not be rest. Rest might be, unplugging everything, just kind of decompressing, closing your eyes. And even if you don't go to sleep, but just, meditate. That's a great one. Just relax. And if you are sleepy, go to sleep. Go to sleep. So here's some soft life practices. A few things that I'm going to do to embrace my restful rhythm. I'm going to schedule rest in my day. I'm not just going to schedule, my workout and meals and, making calls, writing, doing my social media. I'm not going to just do that. I'm going to also schedule rest, right? And rest is probably good. Like after I eat, maybe I should just rest for a while. Let my digestive system do what it's going to do and just rest and not be stressed. And I want to redefine what productive means. Some days, my rest is going to be my assignment. Some days, stillness will be a strategy, right? I'm going to get still so I can hear what I should be doing. I'm getting still to know what the next steps, the best next steps would be. And that's why meditation is so good, because you get still and you can hear clearly from God. So yeah, redefining what productive means. And then let's affirm it. say this out loud. My rest is righteous. Doing less doesn't make me less. And I don't have to earn peace. It's my portion. I love that, right? I don't have to earn peace. It's my portion. I get to have peace. And I get to take a rest. Now, we have to set boundaries. And this is part of that, in the soft life, own your time. You don't owe anyone your yes. You don't owe it to anyone. Okay? So set your boundaries. Say yes when you can. Say yes when it fits into your schedule. Say yes when it doesn't take up your rest. Say yes when you can. And you don't need to explain your no. I mean, there are some people you might want to explain your no to, but you really don't have to. You can just say, no, I can't do that. No, that doesn't work with my schedule for today. I can maybe schedule that in at a different time, but no, not today. Soft living is about knowing your limits and trusting your source. And that's why we are going to be more mindful and intentional about getting our rest. Okay? So let me ask you this. Why? Well, not why, but where are you resisting rest? And what would happen if you gave yourself permission to pause without any guilt? Today, I challenge you to take one intentional moment to rest. Not because you're exhausted, but because you're worthy of rest. Let's find time to rest every day. Be intentional with your rest. Start off with maybe just 15 minutes if this is hard for you. But let's get it to a point where we can do that on a regular basis. Maybe 15 minutes in the earlier part of the day and 15 minutes in it at the end of the day. But let's take out the time to do that. Now, if this episode has helped you breathe a little deeper, send it to a sister who needs to hear it. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe to the podcast and the YouTube channel. Until next time, this is Raykel Tolson, and may you rest in alignment and move with intention, and may God continue to show us how good life can be. Ashe, and so it is.